60%, 100%.
Uh,
Ladies and gentlemen, from all ages,
ladies
we're
and
live.
gentlemen.
Okay, I think we are actually live now. So, hello everybody. My name is Sergio Gomez. I'm a writer, RPG player, a geek, if you will.
Geek.
But of course, I'm a geek. I'm a geek from Bogota, Colombia. And thank you for coming to this transmission of Calixators. We already have people in the chat. It's amazing. Hi there, Diana Sepulveda, and hi there, Ariana Saurif.
Jana is a great follower all the time.
Yes, indeed, she is. So today I'm with the one, the only, the mero mero. I'm with Mr. Juan Hernandez.
Hello there. How you doing? I think it's no presentation. Okay. I'm a writer and author. I have two books. One of novels, other about tales. Uh, I'm like not an alcoholic, maybe a drunkard, and I'm here with my friend Sergio. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna talk about fiction and noir fiction and fantasy. Excuse me. So let's do it, my friend.
Okay, it's been a while since the last time I saw Juan Hernandez. Maybe that's why we are so clumsy and happy about this. Is that or that
True.
Juan
It's
explicitly
true.
said that since this transmission is going to Germany and that it will be a political crime if we're not with a good beer trying to talk our best about this situation. So cheers, my friend. This one is for you.
Cheers, my friend, for you and all the people that is watching us.
Yes, indeed. Liliana Lache say hello, guys. Hello there.
Hello there, General Kenobi.
So before we jump to go on anything, we want to talk to you about Calixators just a little bit. We are both writers for this editorial house. So if you want to meet know our stories, get to know some of the colonial literature, we cannot encourage you more to go to www.calixatores.com and meet our books today. Okay. Juan is the author of 21 Rates, 1,000 Stories in One Drink, or 21 Grados, 1000 historias en un solo trago. And how do I translate it? Memorias de un barra brava sería... no, Confesión de un barra brava sería what?
A barra brava. I don't like the translate to the barra brava to hooligan because are two totally different things. So let's say like barra brava that have no translation. Confession can be.
A hooligan's confession will be like the exact term, but
Yeah,
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. Hooligan is a way different word.
It's a different word. It's only have in common the football and the patient.
That's it.
I don't know the patient. But yes, let's talk like confession of a barra brava or barra brava's confession. In Spanish, confesión de un barra brava.
By my way, you can get amor etílico or ethylical love, I think. I don't know the translation of ethylic, but that way, that goes. And my two novels, part of the fantasy saga called Project City Hunters, you can get The Cursed Sons or Los Hijos Malditos, and Killer Guilds, Culpas Asesinas, I think is the correct translation. You can get them also in calixators.com. And that bunch of books we just mentioned go to the thematic we're talking today, that is about noir fiction and dark fantasy. So let's talk first about noir fiction. I think Tato is better suited than myself to talk a little bit about it. So Tato, why don't you tell us about your way into the noir fiction?
Okay, it's like difficult because it's not my strength. I'm more of a dirty realist. But with Confesión de un Barra Brava, I wrote about noir fiction, and it's I can say a very successful path. Was difficult because was a gender that I read about but never wrote about. So it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult, but I think I did well. The more, the most things I like about it were first the visceral that it can be, the realistic that it can be. It's not like with sweet things or pretty things or beautiful things. Now it's more about the the hate and the difficult things of the real world. Yes, it can be fiction, but I think the things it took of the real world are the realistic ones, are the true ones. So can be the like the things you must hate or love. You know is like to be in love with it, or to be hating them, because it's sadness, it's hate, it's courage. I don't know. So maybe can be the feelings you don't like, but the thing I always said, you don't like it, but are real, are real. And so this noir fiction can be in that way linked by the dark fantasy that I don't have idea about it in terms of right, because it's definitely not my gender, but it's have common, but have many uncommon, like this, that you took the sadness of the world, you took the hate of the world and make it art. So I like it, I really like it.
I get the feeling it's like, this kind of a toxic relationship.
Yes,
It's a
absolutely,
love hate relation, actually. I know.
absolutely.
So I read a lot of I read a lot and I write dark fiction, dark fantasy. Sorry, and the way I try to approximate to it is that all monsters, each and every one of the monsters of even classic literature, are actually human, come from human beings. So, for example, not only talking about like Dracula from Black Tempest and all these mythic kind of thing that Bram Stoker established, but if you think about it, a vampire doesn't born as a child little vampire thingy, but it must be converted from a human. So the monsters come from humans, the creatures come from humans, and humanity is all that you just said. It's dirty, it go down, reality is hard, man, and it pushes you down. But in fantasy is one way different to try to approximate to it, and it doesn't have explicitly the necessity of giving hope in a way or another, but it can be dirty and hard. I mean, a vampire can be addicted to the blood of I don't know, a drug addict woman or something like that, and you can go down to a way that, okay, it has some fantasy elements for the narrative thing, but you can always tell reality in one way or another using that kind of tools. And it's a toolkit that is pretty difficult to use, actually. I I must admit that I have this feeling, this respect for the way you write, because it goes down in a way that can feel empathy with the narrative, and I think that's actually the point when you write, huh? Feel the point, find the point when you can be feel empathy with the character you're reading, and Oh God, I just love this guy Johnny. Johnny Dick is awesome,
Johnny
man.
fucking Dick.
Like, yeah, man, that guy is great. Why don't you tell us about a little bit of that of the way of you find
Okay.
to write your first book?
Before that, I have to say that you make a point that can be fantasy, can be fiction, but all the feelings are real, and all the feelings, yes, are down, are hopeless, but are real. Why are they real? Because are human, and it's okay. I don't like to read or write about hopeless, hope things or happy things because it's okay. It's what you want, but the 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 world is mostly difficult, and you know that. And if you don't like to know that, it's because you are a liar or a blind man. But it's that. So, for example, you talk about Johnny Dick, that is like my alter ego, and it's a character I love. I love with my heart. I love because I love. I enjoy make his sadly make him a painful man because is what I'd say. I don't like to write about uh, good things or happy things. It's not my style, and it's okay if the people don't want to read me because if you are a sad person, you want to read happy things because sadness is in your life have no sense, and it's okay. But if you want happiness, my books not are for you. But if you want to read things that really happens, this is I'm your man in that way. So Johnny Dick is only a loser that lives is simply like that. It's a loser. I like to use the charisma of the loser, the charisma of the drunk, the charisma of the alcoholic, the charisma of a man that have the head broke, the charisma of a man that all the things like to have no hope. And I think it can be used in a right way because this man is the man you met in the bus. This man is the man you met in the office. This man is the man that you have like a friend. Because all of us in more or less have demons and have a difficult life and have problems and have insecurities and have harmless feelings. So it's like the part of you, Johnny Dick, is like the part of you that is real, that is really, really, really of this world. So I think there is the charisma of the man. There is all that it can be, or no, all that it is. Maybe not can be, it is. And it's in you if you change or not these things. It's only a reality. You can live like a loser, you can live like a winner, and it's okay. Uh, so at the end, what is to be a loser? What is to be a winner? Have some money, have a nice house, have many girls. That is a winner. Or maybe can be a honestly man, a honestly person. Can you live? Can you see to the mirror and love you? Is a loser or a winner? So it's the dualism of that terms. What is really, really, really be that? So I think is the thing I play with Johnny Dick.
Actually, I feel that description pretty deep in myself. First of all, because I also relate a lot, or not as trying to, but the way the loser's way to live. I think it's a beautiful way to live by myself.
It's a
It's
beautiful
amazing.
because
Uh,
the losers are drunk all the time, so it's great.
That's great.
literally.
That's right. It's not that we will live drinking every day, right? It's we drink never,
But
never. Who
cheers,
says
but
cheers?
cheers.
Cheers for that. Cheers for not drinking. Uh, Diana Sepulveda says here, totally in our brains, the feelings are real, even if it's a fiction story. And I think sometimes when we're drunk, especially talking about drinking every time, uh, some of our stories becomes some kind of fiction, and we live with them. We live them in a way or another. Talking about characters, Alejandro, which is my protagonist in Project City Hunters, is kind of that representation. Maybe not about the sore loser, but about the angry one. So he lives with all this hate about his past, about himself, and he's angry almost every time about it. I think you're right, up to a point here, and it's about the hope point. Hope is a difficult thing to find, and I think it's weird and it's non-real. It's really fictional, actually, that people have hope just for the way to have it, just because hey, I'm a hopeful person, and that's in a very respectful way to live. Bullshit. Uh, so hope is a thing you must win. Is that when people must work for it, fight for it, even, and live for it. You're not just hopeful because you just want to be. You must deserve hope. And sometimes, because of your decisions in the past, hope is a difficult thing to find. That's something I think it's another point in common, and that's about the hope is not in the hand of the writer to put into the text, but it's in the hope of the reader to find between the lines. It's nothing that you must put in there, and then he feel hopeful. No, the writer must find it. For example, if I have a bad day, I actually know I can sit in my bed feeling helpless and read one or two of the stories in 21 grades, and it helps me, man. It helps a lot. I know there's someone, even as a fictional character, is maybe worse or was worse than what I am than now, that moment, and it helps a lot. And I want people not to, for example, when I write about Alejandro, I don't want people to get outside and get in a fight. I did, so I don't recommend it. But I want them to find themselves some hope, some calm, to leave some steam while reading, instead of, I don't know, fighting it outside. The only thing I encourage people to do is drink, maybe not heavily, but sure, a drink is good with friends, a good talk. Some stories only can go out when you're drinking. And I don't encourage like drink every day, because that's bad. In Colombia, there says the excess of alcohol is bad for your health in every single beer commercial. But I encourage you to have some connection with people. And I think that the other big point on this conversation is about what we live to write. Because science, noir fiction, and some of the fantasy, as my point of view, take elements from reality. You only can write if you live some things. So, Tato, I have this difficult question for you right now. So, don't go exactly, because that should be a lot of things. But tell me, what did you leave to write Confesión de un Barra Brava?
Okay. Confesión de Barra, it's mostly easier than 21 grados.
Oh, really?
It was easier in the way of what I felt, because are like things I will live like who the people that don't know, I was a barra brava of Millonarios. So
Of Millitos.
it's of me of Los Josmi.
That's just me.
It it, it was the book is not things that really happen, because I have to say I was afraid that things can will become dangerous, but it is inspired in that things that I was live. So in that way, it was more easier. But in the way of literature, to write it, oh, what's fucking difficult, because I was never wrote a novel before. Was something new for me. So it was, I have the idea, all the idea, but I don't know how to grow that. So the process was difficult in that way. But with the feelings, it's all okay. Was more easy. But in 21 grados, it was different, because the process of growth it was more easy, because our short stories, and this is my field. I feel comfortable in that way. But it was difficult because I am like with the hair broken. I was in a job I fucking hate. I was very sad. I was depressed. So in that way was more difficult. So it's what I always say. You have to have a fuel to write. It doesn't matter what you use to it. It can be sadness, it can be happiness, it can be alcohol that is fucking great, it can be a cigarette, it can be hopeless, it can be whatever you want, whatever that moves you. So it's okay. But it have to be something. You don't write because you don't have anything more to do. You write because something moves inside you, and you have to take that and make something with that. In this case, write. Don't have to be write. You can make art. You can make paint, anything. But I think, yeah, I took that from other author of Calixto Ivan Sanchez, that he once a time say that you have to make something with that sadness, or with that everything that it is. And I think he was right. He is right. So is that in Confesión de un Barra Brava, what I say, the process was more difficult, like of form, because I don't wrote a novel before, and the other was difficult by the feelings, or easy by the feelings. I don't know yet. It's difficult to have the head broken. You know about it.
Well, yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's okay. I think all the art is about it, but noir fiction or dirty realism is more like with it. Before I finish and get you the word, excuse me, I have to say I I fucking love. I don't know. I can be the only one in this world that prefer Amore Etílico than Project 60 Hunter.
Oh,
I
no way. Oh my god.
fucking love that poems, because it's the best of two worlds. Are poems and are alcohol, and you mix them and make a fucking amazing cocktail. It was, I fucking like that. I was reading and have the poem here, and the other side a way to make a cocktail. It was oh, I'm going to do that, and I will do it. I like Project City Hunter, but Amore Tilico, it's my favorite. I have to say, maybe because it's a sad book, is are sad poems, and I don't know. Maybe I'm weak with that things. Can be is the more certain thing, but I fucking love it. So I want to ask you first about the dark fantasy in Project City Hunter, but I don't want to get out the poem in Amore Etílico. The
Okay,
poetry, excuse me.
okay. So first of all, before I jump on that, Ariana Saudit says, "Long life to the creativity that the alcohol gives us," and Ariana is completely right. It's absolutely right. That's a thing. And Diana Sepulveda says, "Please don't make me talk about Amor Etílico." Oh my, why?
It's a fucking great book.
Okay. So
It is underrated. This is the word. That is the word. It's underrated. It's a good book. I fucking love it.
oh my god, I didn't know how I look when I got blushed, but now I know. Okay, so about Brick City Hunters, was I don't think the word is easy because we have I play RPG games since I don't know like 15 years actually, and all the time I play with my friends, and we make this whole big universe of stories, of dark stories, most of them. Finally, one day I find all their character sheets, I find all the chronicles, we write it together, and I say, "Hey guys, I find all of these. What can I do with that?" And they say, "Hey, I don't know. We don't give a damn. Do something with that. You can do something with that." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. We can play again, or I can try to construct something." So I think that was the time that was after Amortelico. David Avendaño, which is one of my best friends and actually one of the owners of Calixatores, he told me, "Hey, dude, why don't you write something, I don't know, more like you?" And I was like, "Hey, Amor Etílico is like me." "Yeah, but not the broken heart part of you. So why don't you try it?" And I said, "Okay, yeah, sure, whatever, I do it." And I find all these stories that I really like, and we construct a big one, the biggest of them all. And I see my best players, my friends, and I tell them, "Hey, I have this story. I'm starting to writing. I need to ask you what your characters did that time." And we reconstruct some of the story. We construct new characters for it. And they say me, "Dude, this is your story. This is your word. Take it. Do something with it. Go win." And I say, "Okay, yeah, sure, whatever, I do it, man. Chill." And I start writing it, and it's been amazing. It's been difficult in the way that sometimes characters don't do what you expect, and the part of the idea is that the writer actually find himself out of base when he's writing it. Like, wait, what? The fuck is? And I think sometimes yeah, that plot twist is amazing, and I love when people get like, "Oh, you couldn't have done that." A friend of mine, like last week, she finished Culpas Asesinas, Killer Guilds, and she told me like, "Dude, the fuck, I hate you. Why you do this?" And he like have this list of all the things she basically hate about the book, and I was like, "Oh, chill. There comes more. No, I don't want more. Why you do this to myself? I will buy it." And I was like, "Thank you. That's amazing." Now about Amor Etílico, I didn't think about it that much, but now that you mentioned your difficulties about writing 21 grades, I think I have some of the same things. That was actually a very deep, very personal writings. Yeah. A lot of that poetry was for just one girl. Her name is Adriana Ruano. Fuck you. So
Oh
I
my
can tell
god!
her. I really appreciate her. Now we're friends. We can talk about the things we
But
live in
fuck
a
you.
yeah, in a very polite way. She's amazing. She just had her birthday at the 16th of this month. So Adriana, I hope you're happy. I hope you're fine. But fuck you.
And happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Now in Germany they know that I hate you in a little bit. So about Amaro Tilico, I think you're right about that. It hurts. Fell in love hurts, and sometimes some things of life are better way to take them with a drink. And cocktails, I have these strong opinions about cocktails that are different from a simple drink. I mean, a mojito is different than just vodka, one with lemon, one or mint on another glass. No. Mojito is a whole different construction. Same with the martini. With any single drink, it's different from just putting all the things together. It's a construction. It's an experience. And the idea behind Amor Etílico was to give the writer an experience, give it not only a poetry, because poetry is cool, but you have to give them a plus. I think you can give a plus. And it's not only when you write a poem, but when you write it in the right mood. So there is a little bit of drinks, there's a little bit of music, because first of all, a good drink or something good to eat, it's always a nice company. And second of all, because life will be way too much better if it have Insta background music. It will be
I
great.
think
I will be, I
I
don't know,
agree.
moving with the ska every single moment of my life, something like that.
You're like, "Nah."
My boss just yell at me and I will be still in my way.
I have to talk with David. With David,
Oh my, yeah.
I have
Uh,
I have a question
yeah, sure, go ahead.
before you go ahead. I want to know. I'm pretty sure we know about the author, but I want to know you. You are the one that know about dark fantasy. You have like some authors, like your ideal 11 of a football team, the ones that you think you have to read, yes or yes, of that gender, or is only I wrote, but I don't know.
I have this, maybe not authors, because I think every author have his bad days and his good days.
Okay, it's okay.
So I jump to go on that, but I have like my top like 3 4
Okay.
of books and comic books that you
Ah,
must read. I talk about a lot about comic books because I think sometimes in the literary world is underrated the work that guionists and I mean screenwriters and people that actually is behind all the publication of that things are doing actually. I think that's almost a crime. Like the guion, like the screenwriter, the script writer in cinema. Sometimes they are underrated because of the directors, because a lot of things on that media,
absolutely.
and I try to always like put in a little bit top of the comic books. For example, talking a little bit of dark fantasy, I like to talk about Alan Moore.
Okay.
He's the author of Watchmen and maybe the best
Uh,
comic
the
of.
Killing Joke, if I'm not bad.
Yes, sir. I think it's maybe the best. He's those two works. I mean,
Fucking
if you want to see something great, please, I beg you right now, don't watch the movies of Watchmen and don't watch the recent animated movie of The Killing Joke. Read it because it's art. It's amazing. His work. He was a genius. I don't like some of the other work that he had. I don't enjoy it that much. But
but
those two books I think are amazing. And the other one is actually Frank Miller, that it's maybe not so much like dark fantasy, going a little bit more for the noir fiction. Frank Miller, all the things about Sin City. Sin City is a great work. Actually, it's pretty dark. If you like movies, for example, maybe it's not the best example of all, but I really enjoy it. It's a guilty pleasure, as my friends say. It's like that people that enjoy Transformers or the recent ones that are really over the top. I recommend this one, Underworld. All this saga of Underworld is pretty funny. I enjoy it too much, and I think as an aesthetics point of view, it's good.
I have a
Uh,
question. Forgive me for an interruption,
oh no,
but
no, please go ahead.
in this like boom of the boys in Prime, that the I know that the it is a comic first, so
Mhm.
it's there in the top, or it's more the
Oh,
book.
it's no. It deserves the place it have actually in all the media. If you don't have the stomach to it, I will not recommend to read the comic book. It's pretty heavy. It's whoa. I can't believe that they go that far on the comics. And it's dark. It's pretty dark. Actually, the Amazon series, it's having a plot twist differing from the comics, and I'm pretty thankful for it because the comics are pretty dark, are really dark. If you enjoy that kind of things, if that's your kink, one way or another to say, I really recommend you. I encourage you to go and look for The Boys. And if you pass for if you can go even more after like the second, the third tome, slow clap for you, man. It's I have to put myself in like, okay, this is dark, this is heavy. I will read it to the very end. Wow, wow, it takes you breathless about it.
But
Uh,
are you comfortable, like, okay, all those comics that are not like Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, besides the boys, Umbrella Academy, that have
oh, Umbrella Academy,
had
yeah.
them boom, a Watchmen. What do you think about this new era of having in a movie or in a series a comic that it's not the classic ones. It's more like more darkness, more underground, more The Walking Dead. What do you think? It's good to the industry, or you like to always be underground thing?
Okay. I think I have a similar conversation one time in private with Maria Fernanda, and that was that if that product exists and it goes to the media and it booms, is because it have people that enjoy it.
Yes,
Talking
absolutely.
about that, uh, I will give you an example that maybe you don't know, but it's awesome. And if people listening to this don't know, I encourage you also go and look for it. The Mask, the Jim Carrey
Oh
movie.
yeah, it was fucking comic
It's from a comic, and the comic is really dark.
and really
Is
different to what Jim Carrey did.
I know that the Jim Carrey one is like for children. This one is dark. It's for I don't want to say it like for teenagers, but it's for a specific public that really enjoy that kind of things. It's heavy. It's really heavy. Uh, and I think they change a lot of the aesthetics of the story because they think the public, their their objectives, the people they
Public.
want to
Yeah,
go to the cinema, the people that want to rent the movie, is not prepared for
absolutely.
all of that. I think society, in a way, is pretty immature to a lot of things.
Yes,
They tell us to be immature.
absolutely. The problem
Mm-hmm.
is that the media and the great industry treat us like children, and even not children, like stupid people. And, oh, you can see that
No,
you
not
are
like
not
children.
prepared. Like, I fuck you.
We're not children. We're
Treat us
boys.
our
The boys.
mature people. It's okay.
I know, and I think it's something like in Japan is actually pretty. For example, for talking about manga a little bit, in Japan they are actually more mentally prepared that comics are not only for children. For example, most of the social critique that you find actually is by comics. This company in France, this publication in France that actually make satire and caricatures about really deep things, and in other countries they do that. Hmm? And it's still part of a comic. Is maybe not a comic, not a comic book, but it's actually part of that aesthetic of critique that you need sometimes. I think people sometimes, because it is raw, think is not as serious as a publication, as a right publication should be, and that's bullshit. That's the biggest bullshit I can ever take.
Absolutely.
And I go for that. Now I really dig in that. Well, what about you, my boy? Tell me about what you. Is there a top of writers that you
Uh,
enjoy for your gender?
yes, in non-fiction, that is a different top about the dirty reality. There is a top. I have to say, for example, that Mario Mendoza is a top for me, not because I read actually, because it was an author that makes me in my teenager to love the literature. It's like the first step, like Chaparro, for example. That no, I don't going to read anything about him. Besides, he is dead, and he only published one novel that is Opio en las Nubes. Well, later he published Pájaro Speed. I don't really like it. I think he really don't wrote that, but well, it's okay. But yes, Mario Mendoza, it's one of the people I love. I love because what it represents in Colombia and in the literature of teenage literature in Colombia. But others authors like fucking love Mario Puzo, God for me, the
Oh,
Godfather, the Sicilian is fucking God. You are God. You are God. You are God, and it's
that they are awesome. I know. I
yeah.
actually have my copy of The Godfather near
Uh,
my.
for example, for I like, for example, Edgar Allan Poe, but not for the terror, for his tales or his short stories or novels of terror. Besides, I like him for noir fiction of his short story. Like he can be one of the most important authors in this genre, or policiac if you want, but if it is not the same, is actually the same thing can be. Well, I like really like in that terms Edgar Allan Poe, and it's funny because I don't really like him in the other genre he wrote. I only like in it, and he's loved by
My earlier
that,
work.
whatever, but it's not. The people know that the terror is not my gender. I don't really like them, not because I think it is bad. Besides, I think I feel really scared about it, and I a very nervous person. So I prefer don't read that. But yeah, it's like a top. It's like a top. It's not my favorite top. Yeah, I like other things. But yes, it have a top. It can be the first one. It's Saul's Mario Puzo. It's good.
That guy is amazing.
Nah, it's good. It's good. Not is amazing. It's good. Not it was amazing. But it is good. You do like that. It's all in
Don't
my
insult
opinion.
him telling me just amazing. He's
Yes,
good.
it's not a fucking man. It's good. He creates Don Vito Corleone.
I got an offer. You can. Oh man, the
He-
dialogues, all the aesthetic he works is just amazing. It's
So,
beautiful, actually.
but besides, yeah, yes, are a top. At a top, I love him. I love them. Excuse me. Uh, I said other time, it's not my favorite gender, it's not my favorite theme, but there is, it's like for me in a pedestal. It's for me in the heaven of the author.
Oh.
And Mario Puzo like ah,
Yeah, that's it. That's the guy.
but
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Dato. I will before we go. We are almost finished here. I will read some of the comments here. If
okay.
someone have any question, we can answer like one or two. So go ahead, write it. But I will read some of the things that are here. Juan de Arias say, I am starting to think that you have some kind of appeal for aguardiente.
For aguardiente and other types of alcohol, but it's good.
Okay.
I don't think it's a bad thing. It's like a taboo. Like 2,000 years later, it's always a taboo. But I don't know why. The alcohol is cool. It it go well with almost anything, with literature, with sex, with happiness, with euphoria. It's like the nirvana. I don't know why it's so taboo in our days. It's
People that don't
like
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 alcohol
if,
is people that don't drink alcohol.
yeah, if you lunch with a beer, it's going that man, and it's silly. It's okay. People have
Mhm.
ways to view the world, to see the world. It's okay.
Okay, Diana Sepulveda say, I agree with Tato. Amor etílico is completely underrated. Oh god, I actually there was a little time, like one or two, no, like 1 year ago, I was hating Amor etílico a lot because I read it again and I said, oh my god, why I published this? But but now I think people got to empathize with the book and I feel great about it. I learned to love what I hate, and I think it goes again to
I
that
think I
relation
think
love hate.
I think that time you don't have the public you need, because you already met more sadness people and more heartbroken, hey, with the heartbroken people. So I think you have no that type of friends. You need more us, the one who knows, the one that knows how it feels.
I need the meros
Alcoholic,
meros here,
the
way.
meros meros. We are the meros meros.
Okay, then as a that just face palming. I think it was when I was talking about the girl for Mortilico, so it's cool. I appreciate the face palm. Monica para HDZ, I don't know, says, "Whoa, Tangomi." I think that one is for you, my boy.
Yes, she is my cousin. I fucking love her.
Oh,
It's one of the more feminine of the most feminists I admire. She's a radical feminist, and I admire that with all my heart and with all my soul. It's like
and with all the respect for that
keep
cause.
doing all the fucking life, keep doing.
Okay, we are about to go. So, Tato, before we go, why don't you tell people where to find your book and why to read your two
Uh,
novels? So, well, your novel and your
Short
book
story.
of short stories. Yeah.
Okay, you can find 21 grados and Confesión de un Barra Brava in Colombia, in Panamericana, in Librería Nacional, in well another, I don't remember.
Buscalibre.com.
Busca Libre, Rappi, well, in Calixta, obviously, in the web of Calixta. All you need, you can follow in his media. And I hope you really enjoy this alcoholic conversation. So you can read if you like it. Come on, read that books. Read City Hunter, Project City Hunter, the two, and Amor Etílico. And if you like this alcoholic, this drunk man, read Confesión de un Barra Brava 21 grados. It's for you, I think, if you like it.
Okay. By myself, I tell you, this city and every city must burn. There's a city that this darkness that can hide, and you can go and find it in Project City Hunters. You can go and read Los Hijos Malditos and go read Culpas Asesinas. And now that I obligated by my friend here to talk about it, remember that if you're drunk, brokenhearted, and want to read something for a drunken, brokenhearted version of yourself, you can go and find Amor Etílico. Also in Calixa Editores, Panamericana, Librería Nacional. But of course, if you want, you can go to Busca Libre or calixaeditores.com and it will get anywhere in the world. So thank you for coming by. I will read one last comment because I think it's the right one to finish this. And it's Ivan Sanchez who says, Juan, you say you were going to put yourself up? So...
But I don't hear.
Ivan Sanchez says, Juan, you say you were going to put yourself up.
Okay.
So I think, oh my God.
I don't remember how to do it. The only thing I want to do it, and I'm going to do it before we left, is to cheers up. Cheers for all of you. Salud. Thanks for being here. Thanks to Ivan. That always have to say something. And we can meet in another occasion. Cheers. Salud.
Cheers.